All right, guys, thanks for sticking around for part 2 of communicating with fragments. So in the last video, we had sent data from the host activity to fragment A, as you can see. So now that's going one way. So what if we want to communicate with fragment A and fragment B? So let's say we want to take the data that we got from the host activity and we sent it to fragment A, and then we want to take that data from fragment A and send it to fragment B. So how are we going to do that? Basically, we're going to do the same thing that we did before. Let's go ahead and create another mutable live data set. That way we can monitor, we can observe the data there in fragment B and update that data from fragment A. Go ahead and copy and paste these. All right, so we got us another set right here. So what we're going to do, we're just going to rename this. So we just go headphones. And this time, you know what? I'm going to put the little underscore in front of it just to denote. That way we can distinguish that this is a private variable. That way, this is the one we're going to be updating. So you see down here, we got studio live data and we updated that. So let's just go ahead and I like to use that practice where we put the underscore right there. That way we can know that that's our private variable that we want to update. Let's go headphones. Let's call this headphones. Just say live data that time, you know. So let's say this is going to be a string. This is going to be a type of string for the mutable live data that we're going to use. And then this is going to be, let's go ahead and change that to headphones type string live data. So all right, let's go ahead and fix that up. All right, cool. So you see how we have this function. So from the main activity to host activity, we had passed in a studio item. So let's go to the main activity. And where are we at? Right here. You see right here, we passed in our studio data item, and we updated our keyboard to roll an X instead of using the defaults that we put in the data object. So let's go back into here. Let's just create another variable. Let's create another function. Let's go function headphone type. And remember, fragment B is going to be always displaying the headphone type. So for the headphone type, it's going to take an item too. Let's just call it type. Actually, this is going to be a string, because we're going to pass in a string and then just set it. We want to take the data from the main activity. That flow is starting from the main activity here. Right now, the studio data object is passing in a default. Actually, we can change up the headphones. Right now, the default of the headphones is beats. What we can do is we can go for the headphones. Let's go ahead and say just JBL, just whatever. I don't know, whatever, JBL. Okay. So the data starts from the main activity, the host activity, getting passed in, right? So goes through here. Okay, so fragment A is gonna have that item where we at. So that studio item, keyboard. So what we're gonna do from fragment A is we're gonna hit this function that we're making, and we're gonna pass in the type that we got from main activity, and we're just gonna display it in fragment B, if that makes any sense to you guys. So we're gonna do the same thing like we did here. Let's go ahead and update the value. So that value is going to equal the type that we passed in. Yeah, this has to be a string. We're passing in a string, and we're not going to pass in the data object. All right. So now in fragment B, see, this is very simple, very easy, very easy. So in fragment B, where's my fragment B at? Right here. Fragment B. So Control O. On view created. That's what we want to override. We want to get rid of that. So on view created. Let's go to our R layout fragment B. So if you just hold Control, hover over this fragment layout ID and just click it, it'll take you straight to the layout. So let's go and give this text view that says fragment B. Let's just give this text view an ID. Text view. All right, just that simple, right? So we're gonna head back over to private late initialize. variable, and then we're gonna go, well, let's call it our headphone text view. So we let you initialize that. So let's go ahead and find the view by ID. All right. So now what we have to do now is we want to, remember, like I said, we need to observe that live data. First, we have to get an instance of the no comp records view model like we did in Fragment A. Okay. Remember in Fragment A, we grabbed an instance of the no comp view model. Okay. Let's just go ahead and copy that, paste it in here. So now we got an instance of that view model under the activities, under the main activity scope. What we want to do here is we want to go ahead, we can go ahead and observe it now. We want to go into the view model because what we want to do is we want to observe our headphones live data. All right, so you go dot observe. Okay, so for the lifecycle owner, see, memory and on view created. We in this fragment and we have this view. So we're gonna go, it's gonna be view lifecycle owner. So it's the view lifecycle owner is what is the lifecycle owner, right? All right, so anyways, so go ahead and put a comma there, open this up. So now remember inside of here, we observe, well, this is where we're going to be updating the UI. And remember I told you this headphones live data is going to give us that string that we want. So just have our type, right? This is called, I guess we can call it type. And then what we want to do is we want to grab our headphones text view, and we just want to set the text. We just want to go. So now this fragment B is ready. The next thing we have to do inside of here, we need to call the headphone type and pass in the new type. So we're going to do that from fragment A. So now what we want to do is want to hit that function in the view model. Remember, all this is under the same scope. So we can hit up the function inside that view model, and now we can go headphone type, right? And it takes a string. So we want to pass in the studio item, go into the studio item, and we're going to go headphones. And that should do it. Now this is updating. It's hitting this and updating mutable live data that gets updated. And since fragment B is observing it, it's listening to the changes. So as soon as that gets hit, boom, you know, we just communicated from fragment A to B, starting from the source of main activity. And you can do that without even the main activity. All right, you see we got fragment A, fragment B. We just launched it. So I click this, we should get rolling X, and then fragment B should get communicated with too, and get headphones JBL. Boom. And it basically happened concurrently. It just happened that fast. Boom. Now you know how to use the view model as the middleman, you know, passing data back and forth from fragments and host activities. So the second way to do this, we have a thing that's called the Fragment Results API. You just want to do a one-time deal where you pass over some data from fragment A to B or from B to A just one time. And we're just going to use the fragment manager to handle this instead of setting up a view model to do this. Let's create a button in fragment B, and we click the button, and that button is going to send data one time to fragment A, and we're going to display it under the rolling X. So let's go inside fragment A first and create, like I said, you can go control, hover over this, click, and then now let's go ahead for fragment A, because we want to just display, our results, what we get back. So let's copy the text view. So that's fine. I mean, it doesn't look pretty, but it's fine. So now let's move over to fragment B. Let's go into the XML file, fragment B. Let's create a button real fast. Just frag results. So quick. So let's go ahead and just link up our button with our fragment B. Okay, so we just do the same thing. Let's go ahead and link everything up. You guys should already know how to do all this. Match with the ID real quick. Results. All right, so we got our button situated. So let's go ahead and make a click listener on the button. We're going to send one-time deal to fragment A. Let's go back over to fragment A. So the first thing we have to do for fragment A. So let's go ahead and set up our listener in our onCreated. Let's do it up here. So what we want to do is we want to go set fragment result listener. Okay, we need a request key. So we have our request key. And then We have our bundle. All right, so we have a request key and we have a bundle that we're going to use. So for the results, it's going to be grabbing the bundle that we get, that we receive from this listener. So we're going to say get string. We pass in our request key. So just go request key. So where we're going to display the results at, we're going to display the results inside of our new text results text view. All right. So yeah, let's move this down. Let's go ahead and hook up our text view for Fragment A and duplicate this right here. Results text view. Change this. Results text. And we're using, this is where we're going to display our text view at. All right. So we're going to Fragment B. Let's go ahead. We need to set the fragment results. We need our request key, right? That's what we called it. We just called it request key. And then we're going to need the results. So use a bundle of, want to send a bundle over. So bundle of, and let's just create a variable here, results. And just say result. This is just a string, you know, right? You can send other things besides strings. You can send whatever you want to put in the bundle, but you have to make sure you specify the type. You got to have a key for your bundle. Then for that, we just go to, and we just set our results to result. Make sure you can see that. We're setting the fragment result. Fragment manager is the middleman. It's listening. It's going to send out an update in this listener right here. So let's go ahead and run this and let's see what we get now. Okay, we got Fragment A and we have our default text in our text view. Now this right here is going to change when we press send fragment results, theoretically. So that means that we're just sending it over for a one-time deal from Fragment B to Fragment A, using the Fragment Manager as the middleman instead of using our view model like we did in our previous video. Let's go ahead and press it and see what we get. Hope it don't blow up. So it went away, but we have a problem. Hold on. So anyways, so we're getting the results. We're going into the bundle that was sent from Fragment B, right? We just see, we set a fragment result, we bundle of, and our bundle key. That's what we need to use to get the result. And the result is, this is our result. So let's go back to Fragment A. You see, I don't know what made me put this request key here, but we need the bundle key there because we're going into the bundle and we're grabbing that string. So this should work now. So let's go, say bundle key. That's what we use, right? Bundle key. So bundle key, right? Let me just make sure. Oh, it's lowercase. All right. So now this should work. Now we should display the results that we're looking for. So let's go ahead and run it again. Like I said, in code, man, you always gonna have something that happens, you know, especially when you move too quick. So anyways, bottoms up. Here we go. Fragment A. This is just our default, what we put in there. So when we press send fragment results, we should get, this is the results up here. So let's click it. Boom, this is our results.